Scott. Welcome to my home and my kitchen. A week or so ago I had an email from Mike in Swindon, England asking me if I have a recipe for Mississippi mud pie. It's a delicious dessert. It's basically three components. It's a brownie crust with a coffee or espresso ice cream filling and then a whipped cream topping on top, and it's really delicious. You drizzle it with chocolate sauce before you serve it. It's really good. He's having a party in a week and wanted the recipe, so here you go. We're going to start with the brownie. That's the crust of the pie. And for that, what you'll need is 1 cup of melted semi-sweet chocolate. You melt that over a double boiler. You put water in the bottom, put it in a glass bowl on top, and let that melt gently. Take off the heat and let it cool slightly. What else you'll need is 1/2 pound of butter. You'll need 2 cups of sugar. You're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and this is just regular iodized salt in this case. 4 whole eggs. You'll need a teaspoon of vanilla extract. You'll need 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of nuts of your choice. I use chopped pecans. You could also use chopped walnuts. It's all good. And you'll also need a mixer. I'm using a stand mixer in this case. You can also use a hand mixer. So let's go ahead and get this stuff combined. What I'm going to do in my bowl of my mixer is add the softened butter. And softened, you don't want it liquefied, but you do want it at room temperature. That's important. You're going to add your sugar, your eggs, your 1/2 teaspoon of the salt, and the 1 teaspoon or so of vanilla extract. I'm using the paddle attachment. You wouldn't want to use a whisk in this case. The paddle works the best. And let this run until it's well combined and creamy. Okay, so our ingredients so far are nicely creamed. What I'm going to do is add my melted chocolate. After you got your chocolate added, add your flour. And turn the mixer back on and let it run until all this is well combined. Not too long, just until everything is combined. All right, everything is nicely combined. The mixer off. So I just wanted to show you the consistency. Everything is nicely mixed, but not overly stiff by any means. So what you want to do is you take your nuts, dump those in, and just fold those into your mixture. You want them well distributed. Perfect. Once everything is coated, it's good to go. And the pie tray you'll need for this, you can use a regular pie dish, which is just fine, but I actually prefer to use either a springform pan or one of these tart dishes. The bottom comes right out. It makes it much easier to serve that way. The springform releases and the bottom comes off. And this recipe makes enough for two recipes, so you'll have 1 to serve and then 1 for whenever you need it. I'm going to spray it lightly with some cooking spray, non-stick cooking spray, and then divide the batter evenly between the 2 pie pans. Once you get the batter divided and into your pan, just spread it out lightly so it makes one nice even layer along the bottom of your pie pan. Okay, so these pies are going to go in, or these brownies are going to go into an oven preheated to 375 degrees. Both of them in. And you want these to cook for approximately 30 minutes. So I'm going to set the timer, clean up some dishes, come back in 30 minutes and show you what that step looks like. The timer just went off, so I know it's been 30 minutes. I'm going to grab these brownies out of the oven and onto a cooling rack. And what you want to do is take a toothpick and just stick it right in the center, pull it out. If there are no crumbs, you know it's perfect. If it comes out with a few crumbs on it, put it back in and check it every 2 to 3 minutes until it's ready. You'll also notice that the brownie actually shrinks in a little bit from the sides, which is perfect. So I'm going to set both of these on cooling racks and let them cool until they're completely cool to the touch. Then we'll be able to proceed with the next step. The brownies have cooled nicely, about 45 minutes. So we have those. And what I'm doing here, I have 1 quart of coffee ice cream, the best coffee ice cream you can find. If you want to make this from scratch, go to my French vanilla ice cream video and substitute the vanilla extract for 2 tablespoons of instant espresso. It's the dried espresso that you find in the supermarket or the grocery store. All right, for this brownie, we're going to take half of this quart since we're making 2, and I've let this soften slightly. We're going to scoop half of this quart on top of the brownie. So I've made this layer probably about 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick, and this is completely up to you. Make it as thick with ice cream as you want. Spreading it out nicely and making sure the ice cream is really soft really helps with this process. Okay, so this is going to go in the freezer while we make our whipped topping. In the bowl of your mixer, you can do this with a hand mixer, I use a stand mixer. We want to add 1 pint of heavy cream and 1 cup of powdered confectioner's sugar. We'll get this in the mixer. So I'm going to get this going on a medium-high, let it run until stiff peaks form. All right. That looks just about perfect. You can test it just if the cream holds to your whisk. You know it's perfectly done. So we'll come back over here. Grab this out of the freezer. And we're going to add half of this cream mixture to the top of our pie. I like to start just in the center, make a big dollop and sort of work it out. I think it just makes it look a little better. So we're going to work this cream right out to the edges and just make it look really billowy. This is going to freeze. So you just want it to look really nice when you stick it in the freezer. Scrape down the spatula. And that is good to go in the freezer. We're going to let this set up, so probably about an hour or so before you serve it. It could go in there for as long as you want. If you want it in there more than an hour, cover it with plastic wrap. So now we'll make our chocolate syrup. This goes over the final product when you get ready to plate it. So I'm going to put my pan over a medium-high heat and add 1 cup of semi-sweet morsels, chocolate morsels, and 3 tablespoons of half and half. You could use milk or you could use cream, whichever you prefer, and just let this melt. The pie has just come out of the freezer. It was in there for about an hour and 15 minutes. It's nice and solid. I'm just going to take a butter knife and go right around the edge here. And that's just to make sure that your brownie is going to separate from the side of the pan. And that is good. The springform pan is actually what I prefer to cook this in. I feel like it's a non-fail thing. So I'm just going to release this. Separate the sides. And it comes right off. It looks beautiful. So you just get your slices cut up. Get a nice server. Doesn't that look so good? But it's not done yet. Remember we made that chocolate sauce? We have that ready to go. And if your chocolate sauce is a little too thick for your taste, add a little bit more cream, a tablespoon at a time, until it comes to the consistency that you like. And I just like to be able to drizzle it right over the top. And you guys, that looks really, really good. A little bite here. The espresso ice cream and the chocolate brownie and the whipped cream make this absolutely delicious. Mike, thanks so much for your email. I hope you enjoy this recipe and share it with your friends over there in England. Alright, you guys, take care. And as always, please feel free to email me, as Mike did, at scottindenver@msn.com should you want to see me do a recipe for you. Alright, take care. Bye.